What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and as you guys have all seen, there's the new release of the Springfield Armory Echelon, right? And clearly, as you see on days like today, a lot of them have been sent out to influencers, right? So there's some sort of relationship, there's some sort of ties there. And in a lot of cases, that does influence a review. In other cases, it doesn't. But who knows, with editing and all this stuff, we don't know, what issues they had or anything like that. Because why would you want to ruin a relationship with a company that's sending you free firearms and free money, right? But anyways, today we're going to talk about, is Springfield a bad company overall? Springfield gets a lot of hate for a couple reasons. The first reason is they are anti-2A is what people say, right? But if you really break down the situation, look at the situation, the real lobbying and all that, the issues with going against Second Amendment and civilians having rights to carry firearms, that was one person in the company. That wasn't the owner of the company. That wasn't the head of the company. That was one person off doing their own thing for their own personal gain and their own reasons. That is not a symbolism as Springfield Armory as a whole. You want to know why as well? Who do you think they make money off of? You don't see them getting a lot of government contracts in the U.S. That's all Glock, Smith & Wesson, and SIG. They make the money off of us buying the Hellcats, the XDs, the XDSs, the Bullpups, the Hellions, all that stuff, right? That comes from us. So why would anybody in their right mind say, yeah, let's go against the Second Amendment as a firearm company? That makes zero sense. So if you really look into the situation, it was one man. It was not a representation of the company. I always defend them in that because you should know the facts before you attack a company or try and ruin their reputation. And honestly, Springfield Armory has never done me wrong, right? Next thing is that they're made in Croatia, right? From a company called HS Product. And that the prices are much cheaper than what they're sold for here. Guys, that's with anything. You think canics that are made in Turkey are being sold to the importation companies for the same exact price they're selling them for here? No, it costs money to import. There's certain taxes. So I bet you your, all your canics are made $150, $200. I guarantee it. That's what they're being made for. Like the XD, I think, was $240 or something, and people complain about it being sold for $400 over here. Who cares that it's made in Croatia? Who cares where it's made? Anything like that. If it's reliable, if it functions, it does what it's supposed to, then there's nothing wrong with it. My first gen XD Subcompact 9, the one with the 3-inch barrel, the super thick and heavy one, has ran like 15,000 rounds without a single issue. That was my first carry firearm I ever got. I even put so many rounds through it, I was like, you know what, I don't like how scratched up and messed up the barrel is. I went out and bought another barrel for it. And that thing just runs. It's reliable, and that's the one with the hand grip. Never a single malfunction. It literally eats everything you give it. I know one person who's an FFL, really big into firearms, has his own firearms store, right? Guess what he carries out of all the firearms? Not the new X Macro, not the Springfield Armory, Pro, the Hellcat Pro. He's not carrying a Glock 19. Guess what he carries out of all firearms in the world? A Springfield Armory XD 40 subcompact. The 3-inch barrel in 40. A thick boy, heavy boy, grip safety, all that. But you know why? He's like, it just runs. It's reliable. I also know someone at work who also carries the XD 40 subcompact. But I think recently they switched over to the Hellcat Pro, they said. But anyways, the reason why it doesn't matter where they're made or the cost for what they're made, every company needs to make a profit. And yes, Springfield Armory does import these firearms from this company, but that doesn't matter. If it's reliable, if it's there for you when it saves your, to save your life, it shouldn't matter. My Hellcats have ran flawlessly. Between all three of my Hellcats, this is my second Hellcat I ever got. I think there's probably 20,000 rounds between them. I'd have to look. It may be more like 15. But between all three of them, not a single issue. And I got a Hellcat with 3 15-round mags. Comes with a nice container, all this stuff, for $505. 3 stainless steel 15-round mags, optics ready, for $505 out the door. You cannot beat that. And like I said, the reliability is what I buy Springfield Armory products for. Now, I did have an XDS, but I was stupid. I got rid of it. I told myself, I did something that everyone else does in this industry and in firearms in general. They say, oh, it's a single stack, it's not good enough. Oh, this firearm's outdated, it's not good enough. But the second I got rid of it, I'm like, I'm so stupid. I love the XDS. It just runs. It's reliable. A lot of people say the triggers aren't good on these firearms. I don't know about you guys, but my XD is my best shooting. It's a 3-inch barrel. My best shooting firearm with one hand. I can shoot it offhand, regular hand, main hand. It doesn't matter. On point, accurate, and it handles recoil like a champ. So like I said, if you're getting a reliable firearm that's there when you need it, and it's fun to shoot, and you enjoy carrying it, then why does it matter where it's made? All these other firearms are made in other countries, and they're just now making their way to the US. Who cares? If it's good engineering, reliable engineering like the Hellcat is, like I described in one of my videos, the people who made the Hellcat are genius. You see that? That's your feed ramp. But in your locking block, you have another feed ramp. What is that for? In case a bullet decides to nosedive. They make great stainless steel mags. Every one of my Springfield Armory firearms has stainless steel mags. And they're all great, all reliable, and they're all awesome. But in case you have that round that nosedives, or let's say you have a flat round or a hollow point, guess what you have? You have a backup feeding ramp that shoots that right up to your barrel. And then people wonder why the Hellcat is so dang reliable. It's just a good overall firearm. That's why I have 3 of them. I also ordered the Hellcat Pro because I cannot wait. But Springfield Armory is a good company, and trust me, they're not anti-2A. They make their money off American citizens buying their firearms and carrying them. Trust me, that is why you see all them being sent out to all these influencers, because that is what they do. We are the ones that support this company. Even if they're importing it, it doesn't matter. Even if they're being made for $100 overseas, this thing runs like a champ. It's reliable. But the other thing is people will go die hard for tourists that are being sold for $250, $300, just had drop safe issues, blah, blah, blah. Springfield just doesn't have issues. And a lot of times, you don't even realize Springfield Armory firearms because they're low-key, right? Everyone's out there talking about Glocks, talking about SIGs. Smith & Wesson's talked about pretty much, but a lot of people talking about Canics. Springfield Armory is that firearm company that sort of hangs out in the back, is 100% reliable, and you just don't hear people talk about it because they don't have issues with it. It's just a good performing firearm that will be there when you need it and defend your life. And also I have the XDM. I have the XDM Compact. I've heard a lot of people say the 10mm XDM Compact is the best shooting 10mm out there, especially for its size, and I couldn't argue with them. Also, SIG made the P365, right? And that was amazing. The engineering behind their magazines, all that stuff. Well, Springfield Armory came in, an HS product, I guess you could say, in Croatia, went in and said, you know what, we're going to one-up you. We're going to make the most rounds in a 9mm carry firearm for its size. This is the smallest firearm that has the most rounds. Springfield Armory Hellcat. It overtook the SIG, who was the original creator of it. Springfield Armory is just a great company. I trust all my firearms that are by them with my life. I recommend them to people. There's a reason why I always talk about the Hellcat. And yes, that trigger does really break in. You just got to put some rounds through your firearm. You got to show it some love. You really got to train with it and test it. But yeah, you're never going to have rust issues with it. I mean, I've treated my original XD, I treated like absolute crap, to be honest with you. I torture tested it. I ran tons of rounds through it. Hollow points, I didn't clean it. The barrel was so scraped up and messed up, but not a single ounce of rust. You look online, even people who maintain some of their SIGs are getting rust. They take care of them, they oil them, still getting rust in certain spots that it's hard to, get oil in. But that shouldn't happen. You should be able to have a firearm that can just be dry, beat up, gunked up, still there for you when you need it. And that's the Springfield Armory Hellcat to me. Also my XD. That's why I'll never part ways with my XD subcompact. It's just a good firearm. And if I ever come down to it and I need one firearm that's reliable, I can trust my Springfield Armory Hellcats and my XDs and my XDMs. And I'm sure my Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro will be the same. So anyway, Springfield Armory, don't hate on them. They're good company. Thanks for watching.